when desire is present but interfered with. This is the 7-minute daily focus. Day 41 of 365. Today's focus: when desire is present but interfered with. Day 40 established desire as metaphysical direction. It clarified that desire originates prior to thought, emotion, and sensation. It revealed desire as the indicator of alignment. Today builds directly upon that foundation. Today explains why direction can feel unclear, not because desire has weakened, not because desire has withdrawn, but because its communication has been interfered with. Desire does not disappear. Desire does not abandon its position. Desire does not lose strength. What changes is not desire itself, but the clarity with which it is communicated into awareness. This distinction matters because many people mistake interference for absence. They assume something has gone wrong with desire, when in fact something has shifted in the order of attention. Interference begins when order is reversed. The correct order is simple. Desire is metaphysical. Thought communicates desire. The senses observe and respond. This is the natural sequence. This is the proper order. Interference begins when this order is reversed. When sensory input is elevated above metaphysical direction, reaction replaces alignment. Noise replaces signal. Urgency replaces clarity. This is not a moral failure. It is not weakness. It is not lack of discipline. It is misplacement. The senses were never designed to direct the metaphysical life. They were designed to report experience. When the reporter is promoted to director, confusion is inevitable. How sensory noise obscures desire. The senses generate constant information, images, sounds, comparisons, feedback, reaction. This stream never stops. When this information is treated as guidance, desire is not destroyed, but drowned out. Not because desire is weak, but because attention has been redirected. At the sensory level, desire fluctuates. It rises with stimulation. It falls with absence. It seeks satisfaction. Metaphysical desire does not fluctuate. It does not depend on stimulation. It does not seek satisfaction. It establishes direction. But when sensory desire dominates attention, metaphysical desire is obscured, not absent. Thought as communicator, not competitor. Thought is the communicator of desire. It brings desire and motive into awareness. Thought does not originate desire. Thought does not replace desire. Thought communicates what desire generates. But thought can either clarify or distort. When thought listens inwardly, desire is communicated cleanly. When thought listens outwardly, desire becomes mixed with fear, urgency, comparison, and sensory reaction. The message does not change. The medium does. This is why the same desire can feel clear one moment and confusing the next. Desire has not changed. Attention has. Why effort cannot resolve interference. Interference cannot be solved by thinking harder. Mental effort only introduces more activity into an already noisy channel. When the mind strains, it competes with the message it is meant to carry. It adds commentary where clarity is required. Clarity is not produced by force. Clarity is restored by order. Desire remains the source. Thought resumes its role as communicator. The senses return to observation. When order is restored, clarity returns without struggle. Direction feels obvious again. Movement feels natural again. How interference is quietly maintained. Interference is rarely dramatic. It is usually subtle. It is maintained through constant evaluation, through comparison, through the habit of checking the outer world before listening inwardly. Each time attention is pulled outward for reassurance, validation, or confirmation, thought abandons its communicative role and becomes reactive. This does not silence desire, it delays recognition. Desire continues to indicate direction, but its signal is postponed by constant sensory consultation. Over time, this creates the illusion of indecision, not because desire is unclear, but because it is repeatedly interrupted. Restoring clear communication. Restoration does not require withdrawal from life. It does not require suppression of the senses. It requires correct placement. Thought returns to listening. The senses return to reporting. When thought listens inwardly first, desire is communicated before reaction forms. This is the moment clarity is felt, not as excitement, not as urgency, but as quiet certainty. This certainty does not demand action, it permits action. Movement that follows this clarity is proportionate, it is steady, it is sustainable. Interference ends where attention is placed. Attention determines communication. When attention is anchored inwardly, desire speaks clearly. When attention is scattered outwardly, communication fragments. This is not a matter of willpower, it is a matter of orientation. Where attention rests, clarity follows. Most people attempt to correct interference by managing behavior. They try to act differently without first restoring attention, but behavior is downstream. When attention is misplaced, actions feel heavy. Choices feel conflicted, persistence feels forced. When attention is restored, action simplifies. Choice aligns, movement steadies. This is why true clarity always precedes effort. It does not follow it. When desire is communicated clearly, thought no longer debates direction. The senses no longer argue with it. What follows is not strain, but consent. Action becomes an agreement with what is already known inwardly. Desire has not failed you. If direction feels unclear, desire has not failed. It is present, it is intact, it is consistent, it is waiting to be communicated without interference. The task is not to generate desire. The task is not to intensify desire. The task is to restore the proper order of attention. When desire is heard clearly, movement resumes naturally. Affirmation for day 41. Desire remains present within me. I restore the proper order. Desire directs, thought communicates, the senses observe, and clarity returns naturally.